Hello, my name is Alan Grover, and I'm the Privacy and Security Officer here at the Office of Public Instruction. Over the next several minutes, I will be sharing an important message regarding information technology security. Here at the OPI, we all play an important role in protecting our computers, network resources, and sensitive data. To accomplish these responsibilities, each of us needs to develop cybersecurity awareness, alertness, and avoidance skills. Awareness. We each need to receive ongoing cybersecurity training and become knowledgeable regarding common vulnerabilities and good security practices. Alertness. We each need to be aware of unusual computer-related activity that might indicate malicious circumstances and how to respond to this activity. Being cognizant of possible cybersecurity issues in our work environment is also important. Avoidance. Each of us needs to use good judgment and prudence when using technology resources and sharing data. To assist employees in developing these skills and abilities, OPI provides the following assistance. Annual cybersecurity training. Each year, every OPI employee is provided with 60 to 90 minutes of formal online security training that covers important security concepts, social engineering techniques used by attackers, and end-user security best practices. This training is mandatory for all staff and is offered through the state's Know Before training portal. Phishing Awareness Program. This program provides a systemized process for flagging suspicious email messages using the Report Phish button in Outlook. It also includes a monthly phishing test message that is sent to each employee to help them keep their awareness skills sharp and identify any additional training needs. Acceptable use of IT resource policy. This is often referred to as the AUP. This document specifies best practices and required procedures for all staff related to IT and computer security. This policy is reviewed annually by all OPI staff and requires the completion of the acceptance agreement. My focus today is to touch on some of the key areas of the acceptable use policy. Following this overview, you will be provided a full copy of the policy. You will then need to review and digitally sign the AUP agreement form. The AUP is OPI's primary resource for informing all staff about OPI's definition of PII and how to handle sensitive data, how OPI resources such as computers and networks are to be used and protected, password rules, internet, email, and social media use and policies, and the Phishing Awareness Program. Let's take a brief look at each of these topics. First, PII. It's important for all OPI staff to understand what constitutes PII and the privacy laws surrounding it, including how to use, transfer, and store PII. All employees are required to follow and adhere to the Family Educational Rights and Privacy, or FERPA Act, and the state of Montana statutes regarding PII and data privacy. The OPI definition of PII is based on these two codes, with additional direction from the federal guideline referred to as NIST. For OPI purposes, PII is any information about an individual that is maintained by OPI that includes one of the following single data elements alone, or when combined with other PII elements that can be used to distinguish or trace an individual's identity, specifically full name, address, social security number, driver's license or state ID number, state and place of birth, mother's maiden name, parent or other family names, biometric records. Additionally, there are other indirect data elements about an individual that when linked to an individual can constitute PII, such as medical, educational, financial, and employment information that may include a student's identification number, race, medical record numbers, credit card, bank account, or tax ID numbers. Please note that personal information does not include publicly available information that is lawfully made available to the general public from federal, state, or local government records. Additional information regarding FERPA and privacy rules is provided in the OPI Student Privacy Learning Hub course. Next, let's briefly look at some of the sections and information also provided in the AUP. OPI resource use. This section of the AUP covers policies regarding computer, network, and software use, and includes policies such as not allowing family or friends to access state-owned systems or networks, not using state-owned equipment and applications for personal use except as specified in this policy, storing all files and data on the network where it can be protected and backed up, never using personally owned devices on state-owned equipment or the state's internal private network. In this section, direction is also provided on how to request remote access to the state network, how to request new software programs or applications, and how to report suspect security behavior to the OPI security officer. Password rules. When creating OPI network passwords, employees are generally required to use the following format: a minimum of 12 characters that include lowercase and uppercase, alphabetic characters, numbers, and symbols. Passwords must also be kept secured and should not be written down. The next section in the AUP is the Internet, Email, and Social Media Use section. These applications and resources are provided for state business use, but OPI policy does allow occasional personal use if it's approved and allowed by your supervisor. When using internet, email, and social media, privacy laws and ethical practices must be maintained and are clearly specified in the policy. OPI business conducted on any type of social media must be authorized by the OPI Director of Communication and Federal Relations, and must also be approved by the employee's division administrator or supervisor. Now let's look at the phishing awareness program and procedures. They are provided at the end of the policy as attachment C. Phishing emails are by far our #1 security vulnerability and our biggest security concern. They are often the gateway to many of the security attacks that are prevalent on the internet today, such as ransomware, identity theft, or denial of service attacks, and so forth. To assist employees with processing and identifying suspicious emails, a report phish button has been provided in Outlook. Highlighting a suspected message and clicking the report phish button will transfer the message to the ITSD help desk where it will be evaluated. If the message is a phishing email, you will likely be notified that it was a phish. If the message is a legitimate email message, ITSD will forward the message back to you. The phishing button may not be available if you are working remotely. In this case, you can make a print screen or snip print of the message and send it to the OPI help desk for review. As a second part of the phishing awareness program, the state of Montana conducts a monthly test phishing campaign. Simulated phishing emails are sent to all state employees to help verify their training level and alertness to phishing messages. If an employee opens a real or test phishing email and then clicks on the embedded link or replies to the message or forwards the actual message to someone else other than ITSD, then ITSD and the OPI help desk are notified. The employee will then be contacted to see if they need additional training or information regarding phishing emails. For more information on this process, please see attachment C of this policy. If you should ever need to view this policy outside of this training, it is located on the OPI intranet system under policies. From here, please complete the short quiz at the end of this video. Then read or review the full acceptable use of IT resources policy and read and digitally sign the OPI Rules of Computer System Usage Acknowledgement form. If you are a systems admin level user, then you will also see a link for the Elevated Privileges video. Thank you.